She had heard of the matrimonial times, of course, and had been amused as so many were by the tales of women who headed out across the country in search of love. So many had ended in utter disaster, the lurid encounters of bandits and savage Indians all too common. But many women seemed to have found some level of contentment, if the more romantic stories were to be believed. She read some of the advertisements, purely from curiosity. She doubted anybody of her upbringing would either be advertising or considering replying to such a thing. But as she did, an idea began to dawn on her. This could be her answer, her salvation. Something so delightfully simple, so fundamentally straightforward as this, could be her means of escape. She would respond to one of these advertisements, would find herself a husband, and escape this house and all her responsibilities at last. She knew there were risks, knew it would be unlikely she would find true love waiting for her in the wilds of the West, but she would at least find freedom, and right now, that was all she craved. Amelia began rereading the advertisements much more closely, looking for the clues she hoped would be there to help her find a man she could trust, maybe even love one day. So many of them were badly written, clearly by men with little education and a very definite idea of how they wanted their wives to behave. She was determined not to escape one form of slavery for another. She knew she was expecting a lot, especially from a marriage she was looking for in a newspaper, but even still, she was not prepared to accept a life no better than the one she already had. She began to despair until right at the very foot of the page, she found the one she knew. She did not know why, but she knew this was the man for her. A gentleman of Montana seeks a woman to correspond with a view to possible matrimony. The subscriber is an upstanding member of his community, has recently been chosen as sheriff in point of fact, and seeks a woman of good upbringing and education to support him in his service to the community. A love of music and good books are essential, and a love of all things cute and furry would be most highly regarded. All respondents should write in the first instance to Box 37458, the Richmond Globe. Amelia smiled. She could only assume that the mystery sheriff had pets, maybe a dog or a cat, and that he was giving warning that these animals were important to him. She couldn't help but be reassured. Any man who could care for animals and the weal of his fellow townspeople must be a good man. That he wanted a wife with education and passion for literature and music told her they would have much to talk of, and she hoped those interests could be the basis of something truly special. She jumped up and almost ran to her portable desk, opening it and taking out paper and a pen. Dipping it in the ink, she sat and began to write hastily, blotting the pages and stuffing them into an envelope to deliver to the newspaper offices the very next day.